Every one of us has a patron saint or a guardian angel looking out for us, watching over us. And often our patron saints are our inspiration, as well as someone praying for us. And our church is no different to we are in this regard. Of course, in our church we have lots of images of saints, very beautiful images. But in our church, one particular saint is very important to us. He is the patron saint of our parish church and our parish. You can find him in a little corner at the back of the church, standing on a little pillar. And of course it's St. Aloysius. St. Aloysius Gonzaga is the patron saint of our church and our parish, and today is his feast day. Aloysius spent his entire life looking after the sick in Rome. Sadly, his life was a very short one. The young Aloysius was very pampered as a child. When he decided to become a Jesuit brother, he turned up with dozens of servants. The poor young Aloysius couldn't even dress himself in the morning. He was so used to being looked after by others. But as a sign of his tenacity, his courage, his strength, it didn't stay this way. In a lovely painting by Guercino, we see Aloysius standing before the altar, and there an angel points to the crucifix. Aloysius's whole life was about giving to Jesus. Everything he could, all his actions, all his works were to do God's will, to try and make himself more and more like Jesus. And we can see the saints and angels playing music above as a sign of just how much Aloysius managed to become like his Lord. But of course it wasn't because of his own strengths, it was because of the gifts God gave him. And of course you and I are supposed to try and be as much like Aloysius as we can, as he tried to become a copy, become an image of Jesus. Aloysius was terrifically holy because God gave him lots and lots of grace, because he asked for that grace. Now, whilst you and I may not have the amazing grace as Aloysius did, we can ask God to give us the graces we need to become a saint. Aloysius had no regrets. He lived life to its absolute fullest, but yet he did so trying to be as good as possible. When some of his friends and he were playing a card game together, and one of the friends said, "Well, what would you do if the world ended now?" Well, the other said, "Oh, well, I would go and tell my family I loved them. Oh, I'd go to confession. I'd go to the priest and say sorry for my sins. I would go and pay someone back the money I owe them." Aloysius said, "I would finish the game." Aloysius had no worries. He was entirely at peace with God and with everyone else. How wonderful if we could be a little bit like that. So he's a good example for us. He's an even better friend in heaven, praying for you and for me. So today, let's try and celebrate St. Aloysius' day by being more like him, by being obedient to our parents, by saying our prayers, by being courageous in doing kind things, thoughtful things for others. We may not be able to serve the plague victims like Aloysius did, but we can serve those around us with acts of kindness and acts of love. Have a lovely Sunday and a very good week, and please God, we'll see each other very soon back at Mass. God bless.